The struggle is real. Traditional study habits don't work for everyone. You sit down with your books, highlighter in hand, ready to conquer that mountain of information. You follow all the traditional study tips, find a quiet space, create flashcards, reread your notes. But for some reason the information just doesn't stick. The problem is, traditional study advice often assumes everyone learns the same way. But the truth is, our brains are wired differently. By understanding your unique brain type, you can unlock the secrets to learning more effectively. Ready to discover your brain type and revolutionize your learning journey? Let's dive in. Unlocking your learning potential. Introducing brain types. Imagine trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. It's not going to work very well, is it? Trying to force yourself to learn in a way that doesn't align with your brain type is like trying to force that square peg. It leads to frustration, inefficiency, and poor results. Brain type refers to the way your brain processes information, makes connections, and retains knowledge. Just like we have different personality types, we also have different brain types. Understanding your brain type can help you optimize your learning experience. This concept is rooted in decades of research in neuroscience, psychology, and even ancient wisdom traditions. By identifying your dominant brain type, you gain valuable insights into your cognitive strengths and weaknesses. The 3 brain types, a spectrum of cognitive styles. Researchers have identified 3 primary brain types: the kinetic learner, the auditory learner, and the visual learner. These types exist on a spectrum, and most people are a blend of 2 or even all 3. However, you typically have one dominant brain type that influences your learning style the most. Kinetic learners are all about action and movement. They learn best through hands-on experiences, physical activities, and real-world applications. Auditory learners, as the name suggests, learn best through sound and hearing. They excel at remembering information they've heard, whether it's a lecture, a podcast, or even just a conversation. Visual learners are highly visual and learn best through seeing and observing. They have a knack for remembering images, diagrams, and spatial relationships. They thrive with visual aids like mind maps, flashcards, and videos. They often find it helpful to color code their notes and create visual representations of information. Discover your brain type, a self-assessment quiz. Now that you have a basic understanding of the 3 brain types, you're probably curious to determine your own dominant type. While a comprehensive assessment would require professional guidance, you can gain valuable insights through this simple self-assessment quiz. Instructions. 1. Get a pen and paper. 2. Read each statement carefully and circle the answer that resonates with you the most. Be honest with yourself and don't overthink it. 3. There are no right or wrong answers. Quiz. For each question, choose A, B, or C. 1. When learning something new, I prefer to A. Do it myself or see a demonstration. B. Listen to someone explain it. C. Read about it or see it visually represented. 2. I remember information best when A. I can connect it to a physical experience or action. B. I've heard it explained clearly. C. I've seen it written down or illustrated. 3. When I'm trying to concentrate, I A. Need to move around or fidget. B. Prefer silence or calming background noise. C. Get distracted by visual clutter. 4. My ideal study environment is A. Hands-on and interactive. B. Quiet and free from auditory distractions. C. Well-lit and organized. Tally your answers, mostly A's you might be a kinetic learner, mostly B's, you might be an auditory learner, mostly C's, you might be a visual learner. Remember, this quiz is just a starting point. You may find that you have characteristics of multiple brain types. The key is to identify your dominant type so you can start experimenting with study strategies that align with your strengths. Embracing your unique cognitive strengths. Before we move on to tailored study habits, it's crucial to emphasize that no brain type is better than another. Each type has its own unique strengths and weaknesses. The key is to embrace your dominant type and leverage its strengths while finding strategies to work around its weaknesses. Kinetic learners excel at problem-solving, critical thinking, and applying knowledge in practical ways. Auditory learners are gifted communicators, storytellers, and listeners. Visual learners are highly observant, detail-oriented, and have a talent for visual thinking. They excel at seeing patterns, visualizing possibilities, and creating order out of chaos. Embrace your strengths and use them to your advantage. Level up your learning tailoring study habits to your brain type. Now for the exciting part, putting this knowledge into action. By understanding your dominant brain type, you can start incorporating study strategies that align with your strengths. Kinetic learners. Get moving. Study while standing, walking, or even doing light exercise. Hands-on experiences. Use manipulatives, build models, or find ways to physically interact with the material. Auditory learners. Listen up. Record lectures, listen to podcasts, or read your notes aloud. Engage in discussions. Talk about what you're learning with classmates, friends, or family members. Visual learners. Visualize it. Draw diagrams, create mind maps, or use flashcards to represent information visually. Color code your notes. Use different colors to highlight key concepts, definitions, or important dates. Experiment with different strategies and discover what works best for you.